Sponsored by Brilliant. Get smarter every day and save 20% via brilliant.org/vector. Rumors of a new iPhone SE have been confused, to say the least. I think that's because the iPhone SE itself confused a lot of people. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've heard rumors from the Taiwan trades that Apple was targeting 2018 for the next SE-like device. Obviously, that didn't pan out. Supposed leaks from casemakers suggested everything from another internal update to the existing SE to an iPhone X style design, notch and all. Then, from the financial analyst reports that this never announced iPhone was never gonna be announced, that it had died on the product vine. Now, supply chain exfiltrator extraordinaire Kuo Ming-Chi is back again with a new report. Tell your friends that a next generation iPhone SE is primed for the first quarter of 2020. Now, that's causing some continued confusion, so let's see if we can't clear that all up. I'm Rene Ritchie, and this, is Vector. Barron's kicked off this most recent series of rumors back in the spring, and Mark Gurman of Bloomberg echoed them in September. Now, here's what Kuo had to say via Mac Rumors. iPhone 8 platform, which is the same design Apple used starting with the iPhone 6, but with a glass back allowing for the potential at least of inductive charging. Apple A13 Bionic system on a chip, which is the current generation silicon found in the iPhone's 11. 3GB of low-power DDR4X memory. The iPhone 8 had 2GB, the Plus 3GB. 64 and 128GB storage options, which are the current entry-level options on the iPhone 8 and XR. No 3D touch, which means haptic touch like the iPhone's 11, and silver, space gray, and red color options. So the gold of the iPhone 8 goes away, but the red that was announced the following spring comes back, all starting at $399. Kuo doesn't say anything about a plus-sized version, nor anything about the camera system, which is more vexing. It could conceivably range from the same single wide angle that shipped with the 8 back in 2017 to something closer to the wide angle on the XR, or even the same main shooter that just debuted on the iPhone 11 just last month. Either way, it would have the A13 Bionic Image Signal Processor, ISP, and Neural Engine, which means the same computational potential, but some of the best new features like night mode leverage the 100% focus pixels and other hardware aspects as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. If we look back though, this all sounds straight out of the original iPhone SE playbook from March of 2016. Back then, Apple took the iPhone 5S platform and made it bigger on the inside. That meant updating it with the then current iPhone 6S components, like the A9 system on a chip and the 12-megapixel camera with focus pixels and deep trench isolation. About the only thing that wasn't quite up to par with the flagship of the day was wireless, which had Wi-Fi and LTE capabilities closer to the iPhone 6 than the iPhone 6S. But it's understanding those compromises and when they're actually advantages to some segments of the market that's key. And that's something even Apple didn't grok with the SE, at least not at first. Apple is usually pretty damn good at demand forecasting. That's figuring out how many of any given product they're gonna sell so they know how many of them to make. With the original iPhone SE back in 2016, the story goes Apple missed big, or rather small. They knew the iPhone SE would appeal to people who wanted a less expensive iPhone, but they greatly underestimated how much it would appeal to people who wanted a smaller iPhone. Those people came out in force, and for a while there just wasn't enough product to keep up. It was the combination of both those market segments, people who wanted a less expensive modern iPhone and people who wanted a smaller modern iPhone, that made the SE as popular as it was. And serving the needs of both was better than serving the needs of just one. But that success and all the rumors and hype surrounding a return of the iPhone SE playbook has created a lot of expectational debt, the kind that not even Apple can pay off. Regardless of what Apple calls the next entry-level iPhone, the new iPhone SE, iPhone 9, just iPhone, whatever, there are gonna be some people who hear the SE rumors and conflate them with size. People who want Apple to take the 4-inch chassis and, once again, make it bigger on the inside, only this time iPhone 11 bigger. And that's just not happening. There's just no way to cram an A11 Bionic or any recent Apple system on a chip into a device as constrained as the iPhone 5S platform. Current silicon is a product of not just the bigger device age, but the bigger battery age as well, and they're all just too hungry to survive in something that small. Apple would have to go with much older silicon, which would destroy performance, or create something entirely new, which would destroy entry-level pricing. Though, an aside, there have been rumors that next year's flagship may just shrink down from the current 5.8 inches to a smaller 5.4 inches, so it's possible SE for size fans may find some amount of satisfaction come fall 2020. There are also going to be some people who would be just fine with the size, but just want the new modern iPhone X style design at a much lower price. And that's just not happening either, or rather, not yet. The iPhone 8 platform is probably mostly, if not all, paid down already. It costs Apple much less to update it than it does anything of the iPhone X era, which currently bottoms out at the iPhone XR for $599. To make an iPhone X-sized device with iPhone XR display but iPhone 11 internals would be basically making an all-new device, and that again would destroy entry-level pricing. So, which markets would the new iPhone SE style device target? Well, first, people who still want a less expensive iPhone. The current iPhone 8 starts at $449, but pushing that down to $399 hits magic number territory, like entry-level iPad magic number territory. Apple has, over and over again, updated classic products with new internals, so people who loved those products could update them to something with enough headroom that they could keep on loving them for many more years to come. And Apple's fine with that. Great with that. It doesn't cost iPhone 11 sales, it adds iPhone SE type sales, including upgrades. And yeah, that's the second. People who still want a home button iPhone, not a modern design, but with modern specs. Right now, they're holding on to their iPhone 6 or earlier, 6S or 7, not tempted enough by the 8, but something with newer silicon and camera. Take their money. That creates two really interesting market segments for a new iPhone SE style device. And when you combine it with the new, much better iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro branding up top, a new $399 just iPhone at the bottom balances the lineup just so well. It's brilliant. You know, like brilliant. The perfect place to learn the theory and foundation behind solving problems just like these, using a hands-on approach with storytelling, code writing, interactive challenges, and so much more. There are over 50 interactive courses for you to dive into, including a brand new probability course that covers everything from the basics to real-world applications to fun things like casino games. It's legit awesome. And the cool thing is, they're all built for ambitious and curious people, the kind that want to better understand the world, the kind like us that want to help shape it. To support Vector and get unlimited access to Brilliant's courses and daily challenges, just head on over to brilliant.org/vector and get 20% off their annual premium subscription. Thanks Brilliant, and thanks to all of you for supporting the show. Now, that just leaves us with the name. Apple doesn't typically reuse names, so SE is likely out. iPhone 9 implies less than 11, which, while true, isn't something people love having shoved in their faces. Same with 8 SE. Just iPad is something Apple's done a few times in the past, but just iPhone they haven't done since the original. So, hit like if you do, hit subscribe if you haven't already, home button that bell gizmo so YouTube will actually tell you when the next show goes live, and then hit up the comments and let me know. What do you want from the new entry-level iPhone? And what do you think Apple will call it? Thank you for watching. See you next video.